Hello. All right. Thank you all for joining. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Okay. Just giving a few minutes for people to settle in. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're here live. Okay. Let's get it started. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the Genius Drive, where we build discipline, consistency, and self trust. If you are just joining, this is Daily Growth Conversations. This is a space where we talk about consistency. We talk about discipline. We talk about personal growth. It's not all about perfection. This is just us showing up. So if you're here live right now, thank you for being here with me. And if you are going to be watching the replay, thank you for showing up later. Either way, I appreciate it. So I just want to let you know that I'll be going live every single day at 4 p.m. EST. And today is really about starting, even when things are not perfect, even when everything is not fully figured out. So if you're here live, feel free to say hi in the chat and I will acknowledge you. And if you're watching the replay, you can type replay in the comments. I'll look out in the chat. Okay, I see AB join. Thank you for the thumbs up. All right, I see AB. Thank you for the thumbs up. Okay, let's get started. So I want to start today with a simple quote. And I want to say this first. I really encourage everyone to have an anchor quote, a favorite quote, words of affirmation, or even a short motivational message, that you listen to daily because what you listen to daily shapes your mindset. For me personally, I believe in starting my day right, because that set the tone for the day and everything else. I practice every morning. I practice gratitude. I thank God for life because honestly, being alive alone is more than enough to be thankful for. When you're alive, your goals are still possible. Your plans are still possible. Your dreams are possible. Being alive means you still have time. So every morning I focus on gratitude. I listen to motivational videos. I speak words of affirmation over myself. Things like, I am blessed. I am favored. I'm the head and not the tail. I will lend to nations. So I do this intentionally so I don't start my day with negativity. And if you're watching this live or on the replay, you don't already do this, I really encourage you to start. It's a simple habit, but it changes everything. Now back to my quote for today. So this quote will be consistency is self-respect in action. I don't see this quote as motivation. I see it as a reminder because motivation comes and goes, but consistency is a decision. Showing up when it's not convenient, showing up when no one is watching, showing up when there is no immediate reward. That's what builds self trust. And you know what? Going live today is part of that for me. Not because everything is figured out, but because showing up matters. If this resonates with you, feel free to drop something in the chat or even just listen in quietly. Both are okay. Thank you for the thumbs up. Now, for today, the topic will be why showing up matters more than talent. A lot of people, they think because they are not talented enough. But from what I've seen, most people don't fail because they lack talent. They think because they fail because they are not talented. But that is not the issue. Some people stop because consistency feels boring. It feels slow. It feels lonely. We celebrate talent. We celebrate people when they finally succeed. But we rarely talk about the long seasons when nothing seems to be working yet. A lot of people wait until they feel confident enough, talented enough, or even ready enough before they get something started. But what I've noticed is this: talent doesn't build momentum. Do you know what do? Consistency. Consistency, it builds self-trust in yourself. And once you trust yourself, everything changes. People struggle with consistency because it doesn't give instant results. There is no applause in the beginning. There is no validation in early stages. But those quiet seasons, they are the ones that actually shapes you. Let me use a real example, not to idolize, but to illustrate something. Most people, they see Elon Musk as a billionaire genius. They they don't talk about what they don't really talk about is how close he was to losing everything. There was a period where both Tesla and SpaceX were failing at the same time. Rockets were exploding, money was running out, investors were backing away from his business. At one point, he was literally sleeping on the factory floor. He was under intense pressure, emotionally drained, professionally doubted. And here's the part that stands out to me the most: talent didn't save him in that season. You know what did? Consistency. Showing up, continuing when results weren't visible did. That's the part we don't see on social media. The glamorous, the unglamorous repetition. People hardly post their failures on social media. They often post their highlight reel. So if you're walking towards a goal right now and it feels like, nothing is happening, I really want to encourage you. Don't give up. Keep showing up because consistency, you see, compounds. If you have ever been in a season where it felt like nothing was working, then after a while, you started seeing results of your consistency. Please give me a thumbs up in the chat. Nice. Yeah, thank you. I see all the thumbs up. Thank you so much. Now let's proceed. I would like you to drop in the chat one lesson Elon Musk's story has taught you from what we've looked at today. I'm looking at the chat. I see someone say consistency. That's true. We need to be consistent. I see someone that says mindset. Yep, mindset matters a lot. So I'll go quickly into the lessons that I've learned. So here is what the story has taught me. Lesson number one for me is consistency often looks unimpressive. It looks boring. It looks repetitive. It looks like nothing is happening. But consistency isn't about looking impressive. It's about being effective. That is what I learned. Lesson number one. Lesson number two for me is progress feels invisible before it feels rewarding. A lot of growth is happening on the ground before you ever see the results. Just because you didn't see progress doesn't mean progress isn't happening. There's an example I love. It's about the bamboo tree. When you plant a bamboo seed, nothing happens for years. You water it, you care for it. It looks like nothing is growing. but actually something is happening on the ground. Then almost suddenly, you will see the bamboo tree shoot up, sometimes feet in just weeks. That is how progress works. What looks like nothing is often preparation. So if you're feeling like, you've not been seeing results, you feel your consistency is unseen, it doesn't mean it's not working. It might mean your roots are growing. So be patient, my friend. I want you to stay consistent. Lesson number three I learned from Elon Musk's story is that discipline matters most when motivation disappears. The truth is, motivation will leave you. It doesn't last. It can only get you started. But when motivation disappears, you know what keeps you going? Discipline. Every time you show up and you don't feel like it, you are building trust with yourself. I'm not Elon Musk, but I understand what it feels like for you to keep going and it just feels pointless. And you know what? This daily life is my version of showing up. Most times when you're doing something, there is no applause at the beginning. Sometimes no guarantees, just your commitment. So please be committed to your dreams, to your goals, to your vision. Don't give up on them. And I believe that commitment compounds. So I want to ask you a few questions. Have you ever started something and felt invincible? Drop it in the chat. Another question I would like to ask is, what's something you gave up on too early? And this one is very important. What's one area of your life where consistency would have changed everything? You can type it in the chat if you're alive or reflect on it quietly if you're watching the replay. So I just want to encourage you that you don't need to be the most talented person in the room. You don't need to be the most talented. You need to be the one who shows up. Thank you for joining today's live. I'll be live again tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST, continuing these daily growth conversations. If this resonated with you, subscribe and walk this journey with me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye now.